Bum, 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 bum. All right, testing 1, 2. Okay, why is my mouse going cray-cray? Dear cray. I want to control my mouse back, please. Let me just turn it off, turn it back on again. Maybe it's some Bluetooth interference from the ether. Dear trackpad. I welcome you back, my friend. There we go. Trackpad's back. Let's see. Let's mix up the music. What's a good one to pick here? Aggressive. Dark. Acoustic guitar. Let's try that. Oops. I wanted to click on that as a open up in a new window. Seeds of Pandora is everything lately. All right. Let me see if I can hear this. I don't hear anything. Okay, now... There we go. Now I hear it. Oh, I should switch over, huh? Whoops. That was a different thing. Dash improvement proposals. Yeah, let's switch on over. Okay, so... I am going to... There's a number of vulnerabilities that I've found in Dash in regards to how it does transactions and a number of very, very, very simple fixes, as well as one moderately complex fix. So the simple fixes are using deterministic sort for things that leak information about the user and the sender and the receiver, and then also just redistributing how change is handled, because, well, I'll go into it in a second, but redistributing the way that transaction fees are distributed, because they're often wasted in a way that contributes to this vulnerability. And then the last thing is actually a selection algorithm, of which I don't know that I could define something that is... I know how to say that that there's an ideal, there's a standard, and the selection algorithm should meet or exceed the standard. But how the algorithm is implemented is not really that important, other than that it meets certain criteria, and someone smarter than me could come up with a way better algorithm. So those are the three things I have off the top of my mind. I think it ends up being 3 or 4 different proposals, because I think one of them is broken into 2. I'll have to go back and look. Anyway, I'm going to turn down the music a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and post this into the Dash from Bob here. All right. Let's see. Let me go into is CoinJoin in here, or Private Send, either of those? Okay. Which we need to get rid of. The name Private Send is so bad on so many levels. It's only going to lead to trouble. Let's see. There's general. There's... trying to find this. Going over vulnerabilities in transactions and how to fix them. Dips comment. Okay, I'm gonna drop this in a couple of places. Let's see. Well, let me get rid of this. Boom. Let me get rid of that. Nope. Get rid of this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and then I think I'm going to post this in one more place, and then we're going to get going on it. So core wallets, other wallets. All right, I posted this in a bunch of channels that I think might be relevant, and then I'm going to post it in one more. One more general channel here. Okay. So, first I have to learn how to do a dip. Maybe before that even, well, I have to learn how to do a dip. I really didn't want to have to deal with this, but whatever. It's politics. It's because this is mostly bureaucracy right here, right? This is, what is this thing, like 50 pages long? Look, I just need to be able to describe a problem and a solution. I don't want to have to read a book in order to essentially submit a security vulnerability report for the protocol. But whatever. Okay. Could we just get the synopsis? Abstract, copyright, BIP workflow, BIP ownership, BIP. We need to just fork this and have our own version. We need to stop linking everything to, yeah, that's my first improvement proposal. All right. I'm just going to try to take a look at something else as what the format should be, because I don't have enough years in my life to read through all of this and try to make sense of what all it's saying and where's the part that's actually important. I don't care about the political commentary and reading the minute notes of the big B meetings. I just want to see, what does this thing need to look like? What do I need to do? And I would rather just trial and error it. Table of contents, prior work. Okay, this one's really long. Oh no. Okay, yeah, this one's way too long. I need something that's short and simple. Where's something short and simple? Let's see. Does anybody know of a dip that is short and sweet and to the point? Because that's what I need to model after. I don't want to model after something that's 20 pages long. I want to model after something that's just bup. Okay, this one looks... Okay, good. We'll model after this one. So I'm going to just take this as my thing to start with. And we're going to skip this piece of music here because it's annoying. I wish I could filter by non-vocal as well. All right, we're going to... okay, so here's what we're going to do. And I will try to... First, I need to figure out what the BIP stuff is. So that's task one right now, is I got to figure out what the dip stuff is. Because in order to contribute to it, I've never done anything with dips before. If I could avoid it, I would. I've tried to avoid it, but there's some things that just absolutely need to be surfaced and get done. And Ryan backed out on me. See, I think I have one of the worst memories in the world. But, well, I guess you don't remember when you just kind of tell somebody something to kind of appease them, which is probably what happened. And then you just kind of forget about it because you didn't really want to do it. You were just saying it at the time. Can't fault anybody for that. We all do it. Let's see. Let's see if I can find what are the basic rules here. So it did say something about named with an alias until the editor has assigned it. Dip number. Okay. So we're going to do a switch -C dip. I'm just going to go with AJ. I don't want to put the cool in my name. That was a mistake, maybe. I am not chillax as I once was. Now I'm more rah. Anyway, so the first dip is going to be txvol. Whoops, sorry, that was supposed to be a branch name. Dip aj txvol.md. All right. Okay, multi-party payouts. This would be J6, special thanks, Ryan, Ryan call, comment summary, status type draft, type standard, created 06/27, license. MIT license doesn't make any sense because you can't, it's not how licenses work. You don't license a piece of paper or a printable thing. So this should be CC 0 1.0. Let me see what they say about licenses, because license, it doesn't make any sense. Recommended licenses. You can't license a specification as far as I'm aware. So yeah, they would need to be CC 0 1.0. Not recommended, but acceptable licenses. Yeah, not acceptable license. Release into the public. So this is actually false. It says not acceptable licenses released into the public domain. CC 0 1.0 actually is a legal public domain release. So, but yes, it is not legal. It's not legally workable to say, I release this into the public domain. That does not, to release something in the public domain, there has to be certain language in place and yada yada, depending on the country, yada yada. And so the CC 0 1.0 is what does that. So, and also CC is typically for documentation. Creative Commons. Also, don't be fooled. The Mountain Dew Baja Blast that you get at Walmart is not the same as what you get at Taco Bell. I would say don't buy it. All right. Title. Pardon transactions. So fix data leak in transactions. Remove data leaked via transaction. Table of contents, abstract, motivation, and previous system. Problems with the previous system, prior work. I don't even know anything about that. We're just going to get rid of that section for now. If somebody asks me to add it, I can add it in, but I don't know about that. Okay. Registering a master node. Cool. There's so many dips that we need. I need to make a list of them. Actually, I'm going to just put a quick to-do. So, whoops. We have... vulnerability in transaction indexes. Vulnerability via discarded transaction fees. Vulnerability via what else? Via coin selection. We have crap. What was the thing I was just thinking about? Oh, vulnerability via IP only MNO registration. So these are all vulnerabilities that need to be fixed. And I think that people have got to get their head in what community are you leaking user data to the public and you say, oh, this is a feature we need to debate? No. There's something about a lot of the, there's just, oh, and then another one, vulnerability. This, I don't know if we could really classify this as vulnerability, but I'm going to try via self, what do you call it? It's when you pwn yourself. Self. Oh, gosh, what is it called? I don't. That's that one. This is a little bit harder to term as vulnerability. All of these are clearly vulnerabilities. Very, very easy to show how they're vulnerable. This one, I don't know that it causes anyone harm. It just doesn't leak information. It just makes it difficult for Dash. Stop self SEO hijacking. There we go. These are all things that we need to just agree to not do, to not take part in anymore. Anyway, so what is this going to be called? This is going to be called I think that can just be one. I don't think we need two of these. Copyright should... License and copyright are not the same thing. Anyway. Motivation previous... What am I going to call this? This is going to be called... Secure... not item potency. What's the word I'm looking for when you... Deterministic... Transaction indexing. That's what we'll call it. All right, abstract. This dip documents and proposes a solution for the current transaction a patch sudo a pseudocode patch for the current security vulnerability in transaction indexes whereby unintended information whereby information about the user is leaked without their information about senders and receivers is leaked given without consent or knowledge. It is not a... Okay. Motivation and previous system. Vulnerability. Let's do that. Motivation and current vulnerability. I'm just going to say current vulnerability. I don't need a bunch of flowery words. Transaction index vulnerability. Okay, this one's... So once we actually get to the part where we describe, it's very, very simple to describe. Okay. So, on the currently, there is no guidance for securing against data leaks to malicious parties and bad actors. And most existing implementations for creating transactions almost all are built with the same vulnerability. When a transaction is constructed, it leaks information about who is the sender, which receivers xpub generated addresses are linked, who is the receiver, or the receivers, which addresses, let me say, which addresses belong to the receivers, which address belongs to sender. Change address that belongs to the sender. Information about how the inputs are linked. I'm trying to leaks. Which addresses belong to which? Likely belong to receivers. Which address is likely change back to the sender? Other statistically related information about the inputs. This is due to how Transactions are constructed. This is due to naive implementations of constructing a transaction. Okay. Receiver addresses are always first when xpubs are used. Addresses related to the same xpub are placed adjacent. We just need to have a generic looking transaction here. Version 3, inputs 3, outputs 3. Let's say, 1.00 x ABC 0.5 df ghi dot 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 dot. Actually, I don't think that these are possible. The second letter in the address it's a subset of the alphabet. It's not the whole alphabet because the bits with the X also carry over to the next letter, if I remember correctly. So outputs 3. So we would say maybe 1.0, recipient 1, or xpub 1. And we might say, let's say we need to send 1.7. 0.7, recipient 2, or xpub 1. Then what do we got? 0.5. Change back to sender. Alright, so this is kind of what a transaction looks like. It looks something like this. Lock time 0. I would have to go back to -tx, and I will, just to look at one of the issues I have open there as a documentation issue, just to kind of how to calculate a signature. Here we go. So we're going to have the anatomy, what this looks like. So we're going to have number of inputs, number of outputs, lock time, version number. PKH1, PKH2. Actually, is that how this works? Is it by... It is... Yeah, because that's how you steal coins. And then, we also... Here's another one we need. Vulnerability of MD... Ripe MD160. That's never going to get accepted. But it doesn't matter as long as the value of Dash... As long as Dash is viable for digital cash, that vulnerability doesn't matter. Because it's impractical in Dash because Dash isn't worth enough for it to be practical. The number of addresses that you have to generate, yada, yada, yada. Well, there's so few master nodes. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Attacking the ripe MD160 vulnerability is going to cost the attacker far more money than they're going to be able to receive. If you were attacking Big B, then it becomes worth it. In some circumstances, it could be worth it. All right. Because of this, almost all existing actions take a naive approach that is vulnerable that exposes information, exposes yeah, okay, I already used the word leak. I want to make sure I do this, right? I want to make sure that all the right keywords are in there. Leak, vulnerability, exposes, backdoor. You know, I don't think this one is technically a backdoor. I don't know if I can work that in there or not. Take a naive approach that exposes private information. I don't want to use the term private, actually, because that's one of the bad words. Confidential user details via portion of confidential user details via the placement of via the position of the consumed inputs and generated outputs in the list index. A typical transaction may look like this. Where is always constructed in this form. Naive. Due to the predictable, the construction of transaction includes information related to the user's actions. The naive algorithm is constructed as follows. Place to JSON. Okay, here we go. When change is generated, the change address is always in the final position. All right, there we go. Good. See. And then I'm going to throw in some baloney at the bottom here. Not necessarily baloney per se, but you got to have some extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this is not a copyright. This is a license. So this would be copyright 2023 AJ O'Neill. Observed. Yeah, I guess that's. Let me go find just 1 second. Oh, no, that's not my one. therootcompany.com. I've got a blog article about public domain, how to release software into the public domain. I include this. Right, so 2023 by AJ O'Neill at there we go. Dip to secure transactions against data leakage via deterministic index ordering. That didn't look right. Too much TOTK. Okay. There we go. Boom. All right, secure deterministic transaction ordering. The solution to let's see. I was going to say this also makes it possible to index transactions more efficiently as all inputs and outputs are pre-sorted. Binary search and JIT optimization. Woo! All right. What else was I gonna say? This dip does not address rejecting invalid transactions at this time. Another proposal for however, this offers guidance that all software should check for invalid unsorted transactions and log them. Okay. So here we go. The solution. although some statistically relevant information is always conveyed in a transaction. There is a perfect solution, mathematically perfect solution to limit the information to maximally limit how much information is made available without any breaking changes to existing clients, to existing master nodes. 1. Sort all inputs by transaction ID as in reverse notation as in the transaction. Little Indian order. 2. Sort all inputs by transaction ID in reverse Indian order. Before a transaction is signed, all inputs must be sorted such by transaction output. No, is it input in transaction input transaction? Okay, this is previous transaction ID, previous transaction the out. I don't remember where those transaction VOUTs are. Little Indian or Big Indian. I think we want to go Big Indian. Well, just as integers. All outputs must be sorted by pub key hash EXID. Oh, must be sorted ascending. Ascending by pub key hash by order. Now I don't remember which way this goes. We would just want to keep whatever way it already is. Let's see. So pub key hash. Okay. For the sake of here is an example from, let's take something. I wonder if we can just go to Insight. I wish I could. Let's see. I'm gonna take a look real quick and see if I can find a payment that was made that included me in it. I'm gonna go check on the other screen and then bring it up. So I'm gonna find something here. I'm trying to find this. Yeah, okay, let's go backwards on that. Let's go backwards on that. I just need to find a transaction that has multiple inputs and multiple outputs. So that all right, let's just check and see. Let's just do a look at these. All right, good. There we go. All right, so this one will make a good one. It's CoinJoin, so whatever, but it's got multiple inputs and multiple outputs. So here, all right. Let's see. For example, consider transaction Most typical transaction. Such as what? We can know that oh, whoops, this one doesn't work out because it's actually literally sending money back to itself on the exact same address anyway. So this one is not a good example because it's too typical. There we go. Let's do this one instead. This one will work. Okay. That. Let's see. This is not strings or acoustic guitar. Oh, actually, this is great. All right. Okay, I'm going to pick a different one. All right, this one's even better as an example. Okay. Are some things we... Oh, okay. Yeah. Always first outputs. Selection algorithm reveals it's sorting, time-based, amount-based, etc. There's some things we either outright know, that we can know very strongly. Believe we can okay, give me a second while I bring these up. Line closest. Actually, this one is not a good example because yeah, actually this one's not a good example because this one doesn't follow the pattern. Because it selects, let me bring this over here. I thought it was an even better one, but it's not. Because in this case, the inputs and the outputs don't actually match up in a reasonable way. So what we can see here is 24.0 is sufficient to cover the 0.66, but it's pulling in 0.25 anyway to add it to that. So we're getting 24.279 or something like that. It might be the next piece might cause it to flip over to 278 or I mean 280. Anyway, and the outputs, this would be what the party on the receiving end received, and then this would be what the party on the this would be the change. But this doesn't quite make sense in terms of why it would do that. Actually, I'm gonna, yeah, that's some information that I can't quite determine. It may just be, I don't know why it would do that. I don't know why it would make that selection. Okay, so just pulling these addresses at random, it turns out it's a little bit difficult. What I'd like to see is multiple addresses coming in and then a few addresses going out where the addresses coming. This may actually be sorting as well. Yeah, we may not be viewing the transactions in the way that they were sent. We might be viewing them how they're sorted. So this, again, this one doesn't quite make sense either. Okay. So there's something else going on here that I'm not as familiar with. Because what I'm expecting to see is the target amount. I'd have to actually look at these transactions. I need to download them or something to look at them and see what they actually look like in the raw. I wonder if I've got a good way to do that. There is a way to do that somehow, but I don't know what it is. So I've seen a site where you can view the raw transaction. You can just download it, and that's what I'd like to do. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to take one of the simpler examples. So, because I thought I would be clever and show this. Excellent MP8. No, that one's 2 on the nose. That one's. These are using old software. Interesting. ZQ. Oops. Okay, so some of these I can tell that they're actually sending to multiple people. Yep. All right. So we'll try this one instead. Okay. Uh, Obviously, not all of this information can be stop all of this information from being revealed. However, this dip, along with other vulnerability focused dips, and significantly decrease the attack vectors for malicious actors using statistical analysis. Significantly decrease the Ross, what do you call it when you correlated data and metadata? Come on. I can do this. I can spell. No, I can't. I was totally wrong. I want to spell correlated. There we go. I got it. I got it. That was machine learning. Artificial intelligence at work. Keep trying similar spellings until the underline goes away. Yes. All right, let me see. Crap. I want something that actually has fewer transactions. That's too many transactions. Okay, here we go. This is a manageable number. How to download? How do I get a transaction? There's probably something that can be used to get a transaction. There's probably dash RPC. Dash pay RPC. You go to dash D1. And then let's try dash CLI. This doesn't tell me. This doesn't tell me what the things are. You have transaction? Raw transactions. Okay, quick reference. Good transaction, good. What does this look like? What's the JSON look like for the input? All right, that's an in-wallet transaction. How about get raw transaction? Where was that? Okay. Is it all caps like that? I have a feeling not. And get over to all right, let's try Like this then. Okay, cool. So then we can go to Insight and we can break this down. I think it was block crypt, decode raw dash transaction. Okay, let's see what we can get here. Okay. I am going to be so confused. This appears... This appears to be doing exactly what I'm saying. These are deterministically ordered. I am going to feel like a fool. Because I could have sworn... Yeah, these are ordered exactly the way that I'm suggesting. Okay, I might just feel like an idiot. I may have just wasted time. There may already be something. Hold on, let me see. I mean, it may be that it's done that way. I could be coincidence. I doubt it. Let's take a look at this again. So these are ordered. Okay, there might be something else that's going on. I'm going to feel like such a fool if I was a fool. And that's... I observed this. Did I not? Okay. I may be the dummy. Confused. Okay, I need to look at that other one that I was looking at. That maybe it's a master node, or not a master node, maybe it's a, this might be CoinJoin specific, because you have to know the sequence in which you're going to sign them, and this is the obvious sequence. It looks like... I want to double check this. I'm going to verify it with dash TX. Okay, actually let's get out of here. I think we want to go to, I think it's number 3. I'm gonna feel like such an idiot if this... my hubris may have got me this time, as it does from time to time. I could have sworn that I was seeing this in a different way, which is why I was annoyed by it. But let's look. F8D75. 2E. No, that's not right. Oh, wait. Yeah, so these should be sorted. Or maybe the reason I was seeing these, they might be sorted by not the order that they appear in the transaction, but they might be, if they're big Indian sorted, that might be where I got messed up. Let me see. Because I would expect them to be sorted the way that they appear, but it's definitely not wrong to sort them the way that they get decoded. Okay, let's just check. It also could be that that software is sorting them. So let's take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 0, 4, 8, 6, 9, 7. Yeah, this looks intentionally sorted. So what may have happened is, one, something, I may have been looking at outputs from a stupid version of software, including my own, because when I was going over this, I did not find anything showing this. But this transaction appears to be deterministically sorted. The way that CoinJoin sorts them appears to be that the sort order is by, that'd be 53. No, the inputs don't look sorted. The outputs appear to be sorted. The inputs don't look sorted from this. So 53, 37, BF, that appears random. And this is the previous transaction input. And this F27, or maybe it is B, no, that doesn't make any sense. FD, BF, 37, 50. I can't think of a sorting mechanism by which this would be sorted. So the inputs do not appear to be sorted, but the outputs appear to be sorted. Okay. Do we have two of these that are from the same? These two are from the same, and they happen to be sorted. Okay, let me take a look again at the analyzer here. So does this look right? This says previous hash 0453. Previous hash 37. Previous hash BF. Oh, 0453. So the 04 was not part of... So I was reading that wrong. Okay, 04, 37. Those are in order. BF. FD. Oh. Okay, let's just look at some random transactions, though. Let's take a look at transactions that are coming through right now. Whoops. Where did that go that I just had open? All right, let's take a look at... All right. All right, this may have been fixed. I might be the dummy. Well, I mean, that's good. This should be stupid me, but smart other people. I think I did not... I think I thought they were in a particular order. Okay, this one is just output value, total. That's interesting. Let's take a look at another one. This one looks very huge, so that's probably... Here's a V3. All right, this one only has a single input, single output. That doesn't make sense. I don't know if this is going to show it in correct order. Alright, so it's just sending it to itself. Alright. This one looks a little longer. That probably has more inputs and outputs in it. Alright, those 9-1F. Okay, 5-6. Alright, well. I don't know. I may have always gotten it wrong. I may have just misunderstood what I was seeing and gotten all fired up about it and been immature and just oops. Because these are actually sorted. I'm a little confused. Maybe I was like, this is, and that's a V1. So, okay. I guess I will have to learn some humility. A little bit of humble pie. Okay, I need, so... Transaction index. I don't know what this is about. Okay. So, after doing all that, why? Okay, well, made a fool of myself. Wait, this isn't, but where's the documentation? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna change this slightly because I was certainly able to broadcast transactions that violated this. So we're gonna put in a prior work section here, and I'm just gonna let's title enforce secure deterministic transaction indexing. What was it called? Prior art, previous work? That's weird. Maybe the ones that I was looking at before, maybe it could have just been my own tool that I was looking at and realizing that I did it stupid. I've definitely broadcast transactions that were sorted naively, personally. So I think two things. One, I think I was looking at my own transactions and my own broadcast and thinking, oh, this is terrible. And I think that I happened to look at a few transactions in the wallet, the DashPay wallet, that either DashPay wasn't following this, which is probably not the case, or more likely the combination of me reading it wrong because it's sorted big Indian, but it's written in little Indian byte order, which makes it look different. But it could have been the ones that I had looked at before were it could have just happened to be, because it's statistically it's not that unlikely. You look at 2 or 3 of them and they're simple transactions. It's not that unlikely to be able to tell, okay, this is the input, this is the output. Okay. So humble pie 1, AJ less than 1. Good news. The motivation specification. Well. Dang. Oh, well. It's weird though, because I could have sworn. I don't know. I messed up. I was wrong. Okay. On to the next one, and I'll do a little bit of research first to confirm that my hypothesis is correct. Okay, let's see. Okay. Um. Okay. All right. I actually do want to double check now the example that I gave earlier. Let's see. Whoops. Hold on. Let me get out of here. That's weird. Why is it taking me into root? Oh. Actually, no, I don't know why that is. Let's fix this real quick. Authorized keys. Oops. Okay, let's take a look at this again. So it'd be 5.9. So we can't tell anything about the inputs here. But then on the output, we should see 0. So this one doesn't look like it follows the pattern. Base units, Satoshis. Script. These could be in reverse order, but this one... Okay. This may actually be exemplifying what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can grab its ID. Or let me just throw it in here and see what happens if I throw it in here. I would feel a little vindicated if... I mean, I did it to myself by not properly checking my assumptions, which is something I would yell at somebody else for, so... Seven, 6... Okay. So unless this one is reverse sorted, this one is not... This is not following. Let's see. This may be one of mine. Which, all the same, I mean, if I'm able to create vulnerable software, anybody's able to create vulnerable software. We don't want people being able to create vulnerable software and have it not checked. That ideally, it should be invalid at the network level. Okay. No, this was not a transaction that was created by me. Okay. Confirmations 0. That's not true, is it? Ah! Dang it, I'm getting so used to having things copied when I select them. Yeah, okay, so these are obviously not sorted. Okay, so by chance, thank goodness, I did select one. What's the beef with CoinJoin, sir? I don't believe that it's useful. But actually, it's not my beef with CoinJoin, it's my beef that private send is not being implemented and not being implemented well. So, all right, this does show that vulnerable software sent this, and this was not something that I sent. This was sent by someone else. So we do have vulnerable software out in the wild. Okay, I feel, but well, then the question is, what? I wonder if is Dash Core vulnerable? Because I think when I was testing this and I thought I was seeing the vulnerabilities, I think I was either using Dash Core or Dash Pay, and then my own as well. Excuse me for picking a winner. My nose is always full of friends. Okay. All right. Well, that's what I'm talking about. I think we need to get rid of the whole idea of private send. We need to just focus on security vulnerabilities and data leakage, right? The whole problem is that there's anything called private send in the first place. We should simply have all transactions should be denominated. All transactions should split dust into stamps for future transactions, and all transactions should follow a variety of security practices, and we should simply enforce them. So this dip that I'm proposing, I had noticed vulnerable transactions, and a minute ago I thought because every transaction that I checked wasn't vulnerable. They were all too perfectly constructed for it to be chance, and then I found that there's a BIP 69 that had recognized this vulnerability back in 2015, but there are still many softwares out there that are vulnerable to this and that are making transactions. So if we just fix the security vulnerabilities, there won't be any such thing as private send. We just fix security vulnerabilities. Then sending will be better because it will be better. All right. But the whole idea of CoinJoin is basically the only use that I believe that it serves, other than esoteric and niche use cases, is potentially to bootstrap. Once the security vulnerabilities are fixed, using it to bootstrap for the future. Okay, this... Okay. I wrote... software modeling after all right, I was able to practice insert search. Okay. Naive implementation. Of code that creates transactions will leak data which then becomes available to malicious to all right. Because of this, any active existing implementations, transactions, okay. Since the vulnerability is known, but no protection against it is enforced, so many applications implement transactions in a way that exposes portion competition. Okay. Naive algorithm be constructed as follows. Which was selected by sampling several transactions Found to be produced by vulnerable software. There we go. All right, let me go. Stick to payments for now. It's the same. A lot of people are hung up on denominations. We should just treat this like a credit card, exact amounts, and move on. No. Digital cash. Digital cash. You can't treat it like a credit card. Or you can, but then it's not digital cash. It needs to be cash-like. I agree that we need to work on payment stuff, but I keep on bringing up these things, and then people ask me stuff about it or challenge it or whatever. And so I need to actually do the work to have it documented, have it in a repository, and have a place where I can point people to and say, bleh, here it is. And today I was flustered about it, so I might as well do it. Now, I was also wrong about this because I thought that in general, most of the software was producing these types of transactions because my software was producing, that I wrote, was producing vulnerable transactions, and other transactions that I was modeling from were producing vulnerable transactions. So it just so happened that transactions that I was selecting, because I reverse engineered this, I found the code to be really, really obfuscated, and the descriptions about this were very, very paragraphy rather than being concise, straight to the point. Here's what it looks like. Here's exactly what the bytes are and what order they're in. It's all, fluffy, abstract descriptions. And what I needed was, let me see if I can pull this back up here. This is what I needed. Here's what the things are. Here's what they mean. Here's the fluffy abstract without 1,000 words. And then boom, this is what it's going to look like. And then this is what this one's going to look like. And this is what this one's going to look like. And this is what this one's going to look like. There's a few different types of transactions. But I needed to just be able to tell. So anyway, so I'm changing my dip up a little to be stage 2. This is a known vulnerability. It's been reported. There's been guidance on it. The guidance is good, although I do need to I'm going to open up a issue real quick on -tx. Well, maybe I should open it first up on -wallet. You want the benefits of digital, but still have cash-like features. It's almost like having digital cash. But do you understand why you need denominations in order for it to be cash-like? Do you understand that as long as there are exact amounts out to the nth decimal place, it's very, very much not cash-like. It's even not credit card-like. Because with a credit card, you can't pinpoint a specific transaction just by the amount. With Dash, you've got 8 decimal places fingerprinting you because they're just noise. They're literally, it's random entropy. It's just a fingerprint because from 1 second to the next, that entropy changes with minor fluctuations in the fractional cent value of Dash. So it leaks a lot of information that malicious parties can use. Well, I get that it's digital cash, but if it's digital cash, it should be cash-like. It should have the qualities of cash that make cash good. Because there's PayPal, there's Venmo, there's lots of things out there that are digital money, but they're not cash-like. Well, to some degree they are, but they're not cash-like. And because of the way that the blockchain works, that we can't fix now, not right now, because the way the blockchain works, there are certain vulnerabilities that denominations solve for, because the blockchain is public, everything is public. And so because of the way that works, Okay. Okay. Let's see. Security. Fix. TX. Sort. C. Bloop. Let me bring this up. And then I need to just get something up for this. So I'm just gonna transaction IDs should be sorted big should be big Indian sorted, not little Indian sorted. All right. Oh yeah, the user should not have to deal with the decimals. 100% agreed. All of this should be transparent to the user. It should be at the protocol level. When a transaction comes into a user, each address that's in the transaction should be mapped to their XPubs, and then that should be presented as a single number to the user that should only have 2 or 3 decimal places. I'm okay with going just 2. 3 seems to be the sweet spot. 4 is too much. And then the rest of it needs to be dispersed among stamp values for future transactions so that when you send 1 dash to someone else, they get 1 dash rather than getting 0.99999 928 dash. Okay. Okay. And this is the part I actually don't know what the signal back should be. Okay. This is where it gets political, and I don't actually know what should be. The version byte should be bumped to 4. any transaction, all transactions should be checked. The default transaction version byte should be bumped to 4. All transactions should be checked. By all software that verifies transactions should verify that the inputs and outputs are sorted as specified below. Transactions with version 3 or lower should print a warning. And return an error when vulnerable transactions are detected. All transactions whoops. All transactions of version 4 or higher should be rejected with an error. So do we have an RPC error versus warning? RPC error versus warning. Oops, sorry. Dash D RPC. I actually think denominations on the blockchains makes it easier to track. You can think that, but denominations for cash makes it worse. Who uses the dollar bill? I do. I think we have 1,000 decimals. As long as the user doesn't deal with it, it's all good. We have 8 decimal places. But yeah, the user should not have to deal with the decimal places. Agreed there. After a certain number of decimal places, and as I've said before, we need to just get rid of transaction fees. They're symbolic. They're of no value. And if the transaction fees are what's making the Dash network money, then the Dash network doesn't have an economy, right? If you get to the point where transaction fees are so high that that's how people recoup their money, it's antithetical. The problem solution statement, it's like the solution causes a problem. You know, if your solution works out, then it creates a problem that makes the solution invalid. You know, you can't have money not be transactable. And as long as transaction fees are symbolic, then they're just useless. We don't need symbolic transaction fees. It doesn't serve a purpose. It doesn't serve the masternode. They get their value from the network. And, you know, what happens in 40 years when they... I mean, that's a problem. We can kick that can down the road a little bit. That's definitely a problem we don't need to solve right now. What happens in 40 years? I'll be dead. Well, I won't be dead, hopefully. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. I'll be in a wheelchair with diabetes. The flobbering on my filth. Alright. And must. Alright, this is good. Okay. Alright, so. There we go. That's what I needed. Okay, let me see if I can pick this back up again. One, two, three, four. Let me grab this. Get raw transaction. Ah! Alright. Let's see if I can pull this out here. Oh, I like this. What's this? Oh, 4, 5, 3, F3. So it's as okay, 0453 F3. Okay, 37 8 D C7. And I think I got lucky in this one. Okay, BF 0D 8F 3. Oh, is it this one? I think this one. Okay, FD 3B 22. Yes. Okay, sweet. This is excellent because this shows exactly what we need to show. Excellent. Okay. Oh, wait. There might be one piece missing from this because we... Oh. I think that this is actually... I think there is one aspect that is not deterministic here from what I saw earlier. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, so the script needs to be sorted. Uh-oh, what? Transaction output sorted in the event two matching output amounts. Okay, so maybe these aren't in the right order. I'm a little bit confused, actually. Let me go take a look at another one real quick. Yeah, that one's definitely not. Okay. Okay. Script pub keys. I don't know if I like that or not. What is a script pub key as opposed to a normal pub key? Crap! New vocabulary. Script pub keys. Okay, lock script. Is that the same as just saying script? Hey, what's up, James Doe? Yeah, I agree. The reading from David here. Transaction fees are pointless. The whole minor stuff should be cut out. Yes, 100%. We're brothers in this. The code should have just made it to be a certain amount of coins, masternodes to confirm transactions. Internet connection is all that is required to send money. Yeah, okay. There should have been a concept of independent masternodes at its inception, nodes that run themselves through code and verify transactions. I want to know more about what you mean about that, because I'm not clear what that is. Pay to pub key hash. So we don't do pay to pub key, although that would be more secure. Well, for certain definitions, yeah, in general. Pay to multisig. Pay to script. So the lock script. All right. Script, so known as lock script, locking script, or pub key script. Okay. Okay, so I think I've seen some transactions where this is not what's being done. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I'm seeing a mix of transactions. Okay, so I'm not going crazy. After all. I did, when I started this, thankfully, I happened to pick some transactions that were in the exact order that I had suggested. Except that the transaction IDs were compared in the reverse byte order from the way that they're written to the transaction. I think that's a bad idea. Let's see. Okay, so I am seeing in the wild. Let's see. I've also seen other broadcasts which... So it looks like it's 50-50. It looks about half the transactions are sorted correctly. They do not have the vulnerability. And half of the transactions do have the vulnerability. Just taking a look at some random transactions over on the other screen at the moment. All right, so I feel better. This is not useless work. I did eat my humble pie because, at the very least, the CoinJoin transactions appear... I want to double check. They appear to be following the correct sort order. I think I did double check, didn't I? Didn't I just list them out? But these ones... Oh, I didn't finish checking them. Because I went back to take a look at how do they sort. And they sort... 1976 A9. Oops, A9 14121F. I think that... What? Oh, one of the transactions that I have open was just spent. One of the ones that I was looking at. And they are sorted... Okay, sorry, they are not sorted by length. Okay, the script. Yeah, this is fine. This doesn't have any variable component to it. All right. Okay, and then this one's going to be similar. So good call on that. There's different types of output scripts. They can be sorted differently. Okay. This one is going to be these few bytes here. Yeah, so this one is sorting correctly. Hopefully you have one that is outside of the number range so that that's clear. And it looks like this one is. Thank goodness. No, it's not. So it says lexicographical sort, but these aren't lexicographical. These are just bytes. But whatever. 6 of one, half a dozen the other, time 0. Alright, I think I am done with this then. What do other people do for these things? I need to fork this to Dash Hive. Get remote. Whoops. Remote. What's it called? Origin. MV origin upstream. Oh, rename. Get remote add origin. Get push. And then let's go ahead and open this up. I think I see what they're doing. By having the integers sort first, it's just a little bit more efficient. I don't know how to spell hygiene. Does that mean I don't have any? Hygiene? Hygiene. I don't want anything to do with the who. All right, let's see. Let's say I started a blockchain. We'll use dash numbers as an example out of the total number of coins. 18 million, we lock up 4 million. 1,000 coins equals one master node with 4 million. That is lockup. We have 4,000 independent nodes with code. We would use randomization to make these nodes think independently. Oops. Oh, there's another thing that I needed to do today. I just got a notification about. Actually, I don't know when I got a notification about it. Oh, yep. Okay. 1,000 coins equals one master node with 4 million. They think independently of each other at all times, but come together to confirm. Okay. So they have independent storage and actions, but then they just communicate occasionally to cross-reference. I'm not sure what that means. You mean that we could have trees of transactions so that nodes could independently handle transactions? There is a blockchain that is being built to function that way. I can't remember the name of it, but it's here in Utah. It's a company that's doing it. Okay. That way no one can control the network. We get rid of transaction fees and no need to be a master node owner. What? Okay, I'm a little confused. What does independent nodes mean, and how would you handle voting? Is it with a Y, really? Sorry, did I get that wrong? Oh, whoops. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, come on. What? How come my spell check didn't save me? Why did my spell check make me look like a fool? They didn't even underline it. Okay, look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a biologist. I can't tell you the difference between soap and water. You think I'm a physicist? Some sort of quantum mechanics engineer? I can't spell words like hygiene. Come on, man. Yeah. I can count on one hand the number of times in my life I have written or typed out that word. I've said it more, but I could probably count on my hands and toes how many times I've read it. Oh. All right. At least that doesn't make me feel like a fool. Like the time earlier today when I didn't realize there was already a standard for this because I had seen a bunch of transactions and then I questioned my memory, rightfully so, because I should be at least humble enough to question my memory, as bad as it is, and as much as I blame other people for their own memories. But I questioned my memory, and then I thought, oh no, this isn't a problem. This is a problem. I was able to very easily just scroll through a list of transactions and see ones that obviously are not sorted in according to that specification. I also like that they chose the integer to sort first. They probably did it for efficiency, but it also is a better UX because it's just easier to see at a glance this number is bigger or smaller than that number, as opposed to this string that always starts with the letter X followed by 13 possible letters for the next letter and 26 possible letters for the letter after that, or however it ends up being. No, it's 29 for the first letter and 58 for the next letter. Anyway, yeah, I think that one of the bits carries over from the sequence that makes it X. I think one of the bits carries over into the next one and limits the number of characters that can come next. So if you were to take all of the addresses, if you were to generate 1 billion addresses and sort them, which is way more than we need, let's say, 10,000 addresses and sort them. Whoa! I've never seen this before. Is this real? What? What? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's one bit that goes the other direction. Is this real? Can you publish a transaction that doesn't start with X? Is that allowed? Is this just money that's gone down the toilet because it's gone to something that... No, it was spent. What? My mind is blown. How is it done? I thought there was an extra bit left over from the X that carried over to the right. But this is showing me that, and I don't know if I've ever seen this. Oh, I think I know what this might be, but that doesn't make sense when I think about it. It could be an uncompressed key. So technically those are allowed. I don't think that uncompressed keys are rejected, unfortunately. So this might have a different bit because it has an uncompressed key. But have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen dash addresses that start with a 7 instead of an X? My world is shooken. It's shake-a-doodled. All right. But what I was going to do, and I need to take a break. And then I might actually go work on some of my own stuff, because I realized I need to work on more of my own stuff because it makes me more emotionally stable. The old cliche for my mental health, because that's how unstable I am. I need to code my own code to remain mentally stable. I was thinking about it. I went to church, and oftentimes I don't even like talking about being Christian because I'm such a bad example of what a Christian should be. I'm a terrible, terrible example because, you should treat other people kindly and give them the benefit of the doubt and not be an arrogant a-hole. Those sorts of things. Things that may not be traditionally considered Christian values, but are the things that are found in the good book with the man who, is the namesake of the thing, right? But yeah, the talks, we don't call them sermons at our church, but the talks were about, because they're not professional preachers, it's lay ministry. It's just the members of the congregation, in all of their flaws, frailty, and stupidity, We teach each other. Anyway, the topic that was selected by our bishop, which is our what in most churches call it a pastor. I think, I don't know, different churches have different names for the, who is the leader of the congregation. But anyway, the topic that he selected was, I don't remember what the there was basically a theme of the speakers, which was, let us all speak kind words to each other, which is also a hymn. Anyway, I don't know. And actually, before I even went to church, it's one of those things where it was serendipitous, or what some of us call a whisper of revelation. I was thinking, I really am an a-hole, presenting as an a-hole, and I could maybe I could not be that way quite so much. Maybe I need to have a strong cup of Jesus and not be such that way. And yeah, and that's what the talks were about. So anyway, I don't remember what my first tangent into that was, but it was that working on my own stuff gives me some, I don't know, it lightens my mental and emotional burden of working in code and fixing bugs and reporting vulnerabilities and the frustration of what seems like could be a perfect world not being perfect at all. In this one small regard. So there we go. Preview here. Just throw that in. Lucky you were an incubator. Yeah, they would have kicked me out otherwise. Voting scheme, or maybe that was not related to that. Maybe that was for something else. Voting scheme can always be worked on, but this is the transaction fee master node solution. Okay. Gotcha. All right, we're limiting the scope to just that topic of just conversation. Gotcha. Yeah, but I still don't quite understand what you mean by independent node. One's got to have one's hobbies. We like your kind of Christian, licensed under God. I don't exactly know what that is supposed to mean. I'm going to check and see if that is a phrase that somebody... No, that is not some normal phrase. I don't know what licensed under God means. Okay. Alright, so this is that. Let's see. Okay. Boom. Yes, and I changed up my dip because of that. It appears that I was seeing many transactions that were not following it, and I wasn't getting any errors or warnings. I was broadcasting bad transactions. Okay. Okay, so this is so weird to me, but I cannot. For a lot of people in Discord, I just see the first letter of their username and then an ellipses, the triple dots. I don't know what's going on, but some users I see it's so random, or it appears random to me. I don't know how to make any sense of it. So check this out. Here's Discord. Dash accepted here. Full username. S ... K ... And if I at the person, look, do you see this? I don't know what to make of that. Does anybody else know what to make of all this? And I was showing up as C ... to some people, but as Kool-Age86 to other people. And I've seen it bounce back and forth, so I'm very confused. I don't know what to do about it. Boom. Dipped. All right. Okay. I'm going to check one other thing here, and then I'm going to take a break, and then when I come back, I may be working on some of my own stuff. So I need to work on Webby. The next thing, I was going to work some on BNNA, but I think I just need to get some feedback from Ryan and JoJo about the draft email, and I just want to send out the email update, and then I want to get together with JoJo so that he and I can work on stuff to basically server provisioning API. So we've got some scripts, but we need to get a server provisioning API. The scripts are not great. All right, so correction. Some clients are vulnerable, some are not. All master nodes appear to be vulnerable, meaning they accept vulnerable transactions without checking and rejecting them. All right, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. And thanks for the conversation. Oh. Okay. All right, now I understand. So, licensed under God to preach, unlike other certified preachers. Yes. Interesting. I have to think about that. The terminology isn't something that I would typically use. Because we do believe in an authority structure, but we believe that I think that we are a little bit more, dare I say, biblical in some respects. One of those being that the members of the church are essentially all equal, and the various, as we call them, callings, the volunteer responsibilities that are taken on, there is hierarchy in leadership, but it is not, it's like, I don't exactly know how to explain it, because it feels like any analogy that I come up with would draw from something that isn't right. We don't vote on it, but it's like you support the person that you okay, this is a better way. You let's say vote with your feet, so to say, right? If you follow a certain paradigm, then you accept even I don't know how to say it, but basically we're a lay ministry, as it's called. We're all volunteers, and although we have leadership, it is not that the leadership is above in terms of spirituality or goodness. So, for example, we have the men's gathering. We call it the priesthood, and so the leader of that, the president of our local priesthood group, which we call elders quorum. He swears like a sailor, not at church, but swears like a sailor. And he brought up that was something that he was working on and wanted to get better at. He's a police officer too, and that's part of how that comes into being. Anyway, so he and I actually had a really good discussion over lunch one day and just talked about stuff. Anyway, he's a really down to earth guy, but he's a flawed individual like the rest of us. We all sin differently. Anyway, I don't want to go too deep into that here on the Dash channel, but I will feel even more free, and because I think it's perfectly normal and good to have tangents that are related to one's own personal existence in the course of work or anything. But I don't want to come across as preachy or I don't know. You know what I'm saying. So I'll cap it there, but we can have further discussion when I hop on my Cool Age 86 channel. Also there, I don't like to go on an hour-long tangent about it, but it's something that I believe in, that I'm happy to talk about, and would invite others to investigate for themselves. So with that, I will head out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you later. Adios.